I am shocked how many times I did not roll my eyes. And I truly thought that was going to be the majority of my movie viewing experience.
Hi, I'm Luke.
And I'm Becca, and we're talking about movies like we know stuff.
Hey everyone, we just saw another movie that I didn't think we were going to see this summer. Freakier Friday, the latest in nostalgia bait.
The sequel.
Reboot sequels.
Yes, we got to see this movie, and it was a reprise of the original movie that came out. And I will admit, I have to set the record straight for me, at least initially here. Typically not my kinds of movies, but I have about 11 female cousins.
Many female relatives.
Many female cousins, and they watched this movie on repeat. So I knew, or not this movie, but the first movie on repeat. So I was pretty familiar with the movie. So with that being said, I figured, let's go see the sequel. Because maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad, who knows?
My expectations were so low.
So low.
They were so low that driving to the theater, I thought,
yeah,
what a waste of an evening this is going to be.
I was in the exact same boat, exact same. So let's start off with some spoiler-free points and talking points.
Sure. Well, let's do a quick recap.
Yeah, please.
So it is a reprise of the original in a way, but in typical nostalgia sequel fashion, they up the stakes. So now it's not just the mothers and daughters switching, but it is Anna's teenage daughter and her soon-to-be stepsister. Mm-hmm. So Anna, grown-up Anna, beautiful Lindsay Lohan, is about to marry Jason from The Good Place. Whoa.
I made you a art.
I made you a art, Jason. And he has a stepdaughter, and not the stepdaughter, gosh, he has a daughter, and his daughter and Lindsay Lohan's daughter do not get along.
Not at all.
So they are not anticipating this wedding, they are not looking forward to being related, and there's also a question of where the family is ultimately going to live, because I'm gonna call him Jason. Jason and his daughter are from the UK. So there's a question of whether they're going to stay in California or they're going to move back. So you have all of these different kind of conflicts swirling.
Yeah, all playing at the same time, yeah.
So similar to the first movie, there's a big argument at a gathering. I think it's Anna's bachelorette
It's her bachelorette party, yeah, exactly.
With her teenage daughter.
And I believe, don't call me out on this, but I believe that it's catered. So there's a lot of, not a lot. Okay, when I say a lot, it's not Happy Gilmore a lot, but or Happy Gilmore 2 a lot. But it is...
It's like a fun amount of callbacks.
It's a fun amount of callbacks, a fun amount of cameos. And I believe that, we'll have to double check this, the Asian lady in the bachelorette party in Freakier Friday is the restaurant owner in the first one.
That is absolutely true.
Okay,
like definitely the older Asian woman.
Yes,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
mom who gives them the fortune cookie. That was definitely
Okay,
her.
I thought so. Yeah. Okay,
So she's aged beautifully because she looks the same. But it's actually not their fault. They're not the ones who do it again. So I feel like that makes it a little more unique. That they don't just have like the Asian women come back with the evil fortune cookies. It turns out to be some random psychic who I think casts a spell by mistake.
Yeah, I think she
doesn't-
just like gets lucky, basically.
Yeah, she's like this discount fortune teller who's just moonlighting in this restaurant.
Moonlighting in a numerous different, really low-paying jobs.
Also works at Starbucks
Yeah.
and also probably has a YouTube channel like us. So really, who are we to judge?
Right, exactly.
But she casts this spell by mistake. And so the body switching, because there were 4 women, sometimes I was losing track of who was who.
Right, it is a little harder to keep track of, for sure.
So the stepdaughter to be Lily, she ends up in Jamie Lee Curtis's body, and Jamie Lee Curtis is in hers, and then Anna switches places with her own daughter.
Correct, yep.
So I guess Anna kind of has a repeat
Yeah, a little bit.
in that sense. Just, you know, it's a generational.
Yeah, it'd be a
tradition.
generational flip, whereas in the first one she switches with her mother, so she gets older. And this one she gets younger.
It's a McAllister family travel tradition.
Whoa!
So we have double the body switching, almost double the problems that are coming, because you have the issue of Anna getting remarried, possibly moving, the family's not meshing very well. When in the original, only teenage Anna was the one who really had a problem.
Right.
Like everybody else was fine, except for her.
Yep.
So you have all of this happening, and then once the body swapping has happened, the teenage, daughters who are in the bodies of the older women decide, hey, this is great, we're gonna mess up the wedding, we're going to just stop this so we can go back to our lives. And then obviously the older women who are in the teenage girls' bodies are like, how are we gonna fix this? Our
Yeah,
These
right.
irresponsible teenagers are walking around in our human forms, doing whatever the heck they want.
And then hijinks ensue.
So many hijinks.
So
and
many
so
hijinks.
many songs from the 90s and when
Yes.
we were in high school.
Oh yeah, so many songs. And of course the classic jokes are back, like, oh, I'm so old, my knees don't hurt.
We're just like picking on Jamie Lee Curtis for a
No,
lot.
it's both ways. No, I'm
Yeah.
saying like, oh, I'm so old, my knees don't hurt. It's both ways. Jamie Lee Curtis is making fun of the fact that her knees don't hurt,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. I mean, it's a bunch of old jokes, like, that's what they're gonna make. That's what they're making fun of, so. But yes, it has lots of hijinks, lots of pretty expected humor, pretty expected jokes, I guess, is what I would say.
See, I feel like the humor
The humor was good, don't get me wrong.
So a note I made was at the beginning, sometimes the humor really works, sometimes it really doesn't.
That's correct.
There are definitely some jokes that just don't land. They just kind of like fade off into the night, where if we were, watching a comedic stand-up routine, we'd go, is that it?
Yeah.
Is that the punchline?
Right.
Like at the end of the food fight scene, which is decently funny, when the principal or the teacher stops the fight and she goes, I'm allergic to key lime pie. And you can like hear crickets in the theater.
Oh, see, I laughed at that joke. I thought that was hilarious.
See, I thought that one didn't land. So I think some of the jokes didn't land at all, but a surprising amount of them were really smart. I think this one was funnier than the original.
Yeah, that's a bold claim, but I think I probably agree with that one.
I mean, I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm also saying it from the perspective that Freaky Friday was never my favorite movie of that era. I was much more into A Cinderella Story and other Lindsay Lohan movies like Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. I rewatched those a lot more.
Okay,
That I
gotcha.
honestly, the lines that people quote the most from this, I don't think are that funny. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And I watch it out of nostalgia, and I
Right.
remember listening to the soundtrack with friends, like in my bedroom. But this was by no means my go-to. But I thought the humor in this was a lot smarter.
Yeah.
And updated in a way that didn't feel annoying, and like they were just like shoving current issues down my throat.
Yeah. That was nice. That was refreshing that there wasn't a bunch of like current event issues. Yeah.
Right, that like so dark, but made me laugh when the teacher, I think it's Stephen Chbosky, I think is his name. I
Okay.
should know his. He's Ned Ryerson from
Yeah.
Groundhog Day. I
Uh-huh.
love that he was in this,
Yes.
and when the teenagers say like, "How are you still here?" Like Lindsay Lohan in her daughter's body says, "How have you not retired?"
not retired?
And he says, well, the teachers union invested all of our pensions into crypto.
Yeah.
But my attorney says I can't complain about that in public.
Yeah.
Like so dark.
Yeah. Again, yeah,
But so funny.
that's really good. But it is definitely, as expected, it's a older versus younger, a lot of humor and jokes of young people poking fun at old people and old people poking fun at young people.
Sure.
The generational divide comedy is the core comedy trope that this hinges upon.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I think it's great. There are a lot of really good jokes in there. So to wrap up our spoiler-free portion of this review, I just want to know what your final thoughts are, and if you think it should be something that people should go out and see.
I can't believe I'm recommending this because we just decided to see this a couple of days ago.
I know, yeah.
This really wasn't a priority.
No.
We have a child, so we have to plan if we're going to leave the house. And we truly did see this on a whim, and I think I loved it.
Yeah, it was way better than I was expecting it to be.
I think I loved it. I think I guess I still buy DVDs because I guess I'm old, but if Disney Plus didn't just like release everything eventually, I probably would buy this.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that I was going into this with the same expectation that I went into it with Happy Gilmore 2, which, if you like that movie, we have a review on our channel as well, so check that out. But I went into it with the same expectations, but I feel like I came out with this one as it was more original, more creative, didn't rest on remember when we did this in the first one as much as they did in Happy Gilmore. Don't get me wrong.
They were much sneakier.
Loved
They were a lot
Happy Gilmore
sneakier
too,
with that, yeah.
but I think Freakier Friday is a better sequel in terms of not relying on old jokes to make the new one funny, in my opinion.
Yeah, I literally said in another video we had made, I don't remember which one, but I was talking about this movie and how, I don't want to see it because it's just going to be double the body swapping and double the hijinks
Yep.
and less funny. And for me, I liked this a lot more than Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah.
I'll probably never watch Happy Gilmore 2 again.
Sure, yeah.
And not because I hated it, but because overall it didn't do it for me. This, it sounds cheesy, but this really did kind of transport me back to the 2000s.
Yeah. You probably also have a lot more nostalgia for it too.
I have more nostalgia because I was a female teenager in the 2000s and was very into like the Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff, Amanda Bynes era. This really did it for me. This is the first nostalgia sequel that I've really enjoyed in a long time.
Yeah.
It obviously, we're very much in our nostalgia bait era, and so many have just been huge misses for me, or just boring. Like I thought Hocus Pocus 2 was a huge miss. I'll never watch that again. Happy Gilmore 2 was fine, but I'll probably never watch it again because honestly, I think it was just fine. I think this is legitimately good. It has no business being this good. It really doesn't. Or at the very least, they should fire whoever cut the trailer for it because it didn't make me want to see it.
Yeah, it was not a good trailer. It was not
This
cut well.
movie is better than that trailer made it look.
For sure, for sure.
So I'd say,
Thumbs up.
if you were a Disney Channel girly, thumbs up.
Or if you had a bunch of female cousins that watched it the first one ad nauseum, then absolutely go watch it.
Absolutely, and if you didn't hate it.
Yes. No, it's a good movie, though. I give it a thumbs up as well. And so that'll conclude our spoiler-free review of the movie. If you are concerned about spoilers, then click off now, and we'll be right back. All right, if you're still with us, we are now entering the spoiler territory for this review. We're going to do a positive and negative version of our review show. So the first positive that I would throw out for this movie is, once again, what I said in the spoiler-free version, which is I really appreciate that they did not rest on the laurels of the first movie. They came up with original jokes. Again, the same shtick, old versus young, but they were original jokes, and they didn't just say, remember when they said that in Freaky Friday 1? Remember when they did this funny thing in Freaky Friday 1? That, again, huge win for me in my book on this
Again,
one.
much sneakier, but in a good way. Like, and not a lot of lines were repeated, which I liked.
No.
And I mean, I did like Lindsay Lohan saying, make good choices. Like, that was sweet, but I really appreciate that certainly sometimes the structure was similar in the sense of, like, the big body swapping happens at a big fight at an event. And there's a resolution at the end in a concert, right? Those those bookends are the same.
Yes.
But I feel like almost everything in the middle was different.
Yeah, agreed.
That the way all the characters, went about their shenanigans, the way they had their third act breakup, the way they came together, those events didn't happen in the original. And I didn't feel like I was just watching thinking oh, now they're gonna go to the record store. Like, that was a new element. I believe, and I only saw it once because I didn't think it was very good, but I believe Hocus Pocus 2 fell into that. Where it was almost the same structure for the entire story of here's the calling the witches scene, here's the trying to trick the witches scene, here's the getting away from them, and here's the I love you, make up, defeat the witches.
Sure.
With the twist of Bette Midler has feelings.
Yeah. yes.
but otherwise, I can't. Even just seeing the movie, I can't sit down and pin everything that this was the moment that is supposed to correlate to the first one note for note.
Yeah, exactly. In the first one, the movie was very much just they swap places. They have to kind of survive and not ruin each other's life as each other. Whereas in this one,
they're on a mission.
The four of them switch. Yeah, exactly. The four of them switch, and they're kind of at odds with each other, where the adults, who are now kids, want this wedding to go through and for everybody to get along, and the kids who are now adults want this wedding to not occur and for everybody to just break up, and then they never have to see each other ever again.
Right.
And so there's conflict between the older and younger generations in terms of their objective, but then there's also the overarching story. It's not just, let's just get through being in each other's bodies. There's actually action and motion that drives the story forward. Because in the first one, it felt a lot like, this is not a critique, because again, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's, in the first one, once they've switched bodies, it was kind of just let's just enjoy the hijinks of someone who's old is in a young body and someone who's young is in an old body, and all the funny quirks and funny happenings that happen when they try to just get through each other's lives. And then there is a resolution where they get back into the correct bodies and then they go on their way. This one was different in that there was actually a core plot and story that drove it forward, and it's not just let's just incubate in the hijinks of being in each other's bodies, basically.
Well, the first movie was a lot simpler in the sense that it was just about, my mother doesn't understand me and my daughter doesn't understand how much I care, and I'm just trying to protect her.
Right.
And I still, love her.
Yes.
And the heart of that movie, really being is that Anna hasn't grieved the death of her father properly.
Right.
And that this is, a huge, step. And that's where really the heart comes in. But I
Yeah.
feel like this movie, it does it right in the sense that the stakes are higher and also the emotional impact is higher. I felt like I was more invested. I was more on the
Sure.
edge of my seat during the third act breakup. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is Jason really going to break up with Lindsay Lohan? This is devastating.
Yeah.
He's going to be such a good stepdad.
Right.
And I was not that concerned watching the first movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, very good, very good. What else did you like about it?
Yeah, so definitely agree. Fun callbacks, and they didn't overdo it, unlike Happy Gilmore, too. Also, a fun amount of cameos, but not too many cameos.
Right, agreed.
Just enough to make me excited. And I'm
Yes.
like, oh, those are definitely her bandmates.
Yeah.
That's definitely her little brother.
Yes, yeah. So bandmates, little brother,
The teacher who hated her, the English teacher,
Yeah.
Stephen
the
Chbosky.
English teacher who hated her, the old hot guy boyfriend from the first one was back in it. Fourth wall breaking cameo was the snotty wife from The Parent Trap.
Yeah, Elaine Hendricks.
Makes a cameo in this, yeah. So that was kind of a cool call out.
That was so fun, and according to the internet, she was so happy that Lindsay Lohan has turned her life around, and there's cute pictures of them posing together as adults.
Yeah.
And it just, as somebody who would put The Parent Trap in probably their top 10 favorite movies, that just warmed my heart.
Yeah.
And also, she's still beautiful.
Right.
So I keep going back. I'm picking on Happy Gilmore too, and I'm sorry, but just because they're both in the same family,
Yeah.
they should have waited and watched this movie, and they should have taken notes on how much to do it, because I am shocked how many times I did not roll my eyes. And I truly thought that was going to be the majority of my movie viewing experience. And they truly did just enough. But complimenting good use of nostalgia aside, I want to say that I feel like this was cast really well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Lindsay Lohan is a great actress, and so is Jamie Lee Curtis, but Jason surprised me as
yeah.
a really convincing, mature, romantic lead.
Yeah.
And I actually thought the actresses cast as the teenage daughters were exceptional.
Yeah, they did well.
Especially the actress who played Lindsay Lohan's daughter. I thought she was the MVP. I really did.
Yeah.
I think that she did her homework. That because we have double the bodies switching at the beginning of the movie, I was struggling at first to figure out who was in whose body.
Yeah.
At the most, I'm like, oh, old and young jokes. Yeah, I get that. But I was forgetting who specifically switched with who. And every time that actress was on screen, I always knew she was Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Because she studied her. She studied her mannerisms
Yeah.
and her cadence of speaking and the way she walked.
Yeah.
And she was Lindsay Lohan
Yeah.
when that happened. And I was always right on board.
Right.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think that's a really good observation. I will also say good choice to the writers who decided that they were just going to do, I visualize it as a parallel body swap. So old to young, as opposed to a rotational swap where
that would've been terrible.
Where Jamie Lee Curtis goes into Lindsay Lohan goes into her daughter goes into the British girl, and the British girl goes into Jamie Lee Curtis. If they would have done that, there's no way on God's green earth that I would have been able to keep up.
No.
So keeping it in parallels definitely helped. So props to the story writers for that one.
And they had to be in parallel because, big spoiler, the two teenage daughters who wanted nothing to do with each other obviously come to terms, learn to accept, even like each other, and they would have never been able to build up that relationship if
one was old and one was still young. But in a different
exactly.
body. Yeah,
That this
right.
bizarre fever dream experience gave them a chance to bond, which wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Right.
I mean, overall, it's a millennial fever dream, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Much more than other nostalgia bait sequels that have been created supposedly for my benefit, but have just disappointed me. This was fun. This was satisfying. When Take Me Away started to play at the end during the concert, I really did want to sing along. I really think most of this theater is probably people in their 30s and up. and we should all just sing together because we know the words.
I was gonna.
I had a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, and I'll go along with that in saying that this was a feel-good movie. Like, it's just good, solid movie that just made you feel good after you were done watching it. You know, there was, it was entertaining, good conflict build-up, a slightly emotional tragedy in the middle, and then a satisfactory resolution at the very end.
You could watch it with your parents, but it also wasn't lame. Like, there were lame parts, but overall, I wasn't like blushing or cringing.
Yeah.
It was genuinely fun.
It was.
And funny.
Yeah, good movie. But with every good movie, there are drawbacks.
There are drawbacks.
What drawbacks do you have?
I'm going to let you go first.
You want me to go
I
first?
don't have as many as I normally do for these
Okay.
movies.
So the one thing that I want to call out right away, and it bothered me so much, and I didn't want to say anything to you because I didn't want to ruin it, they overdubbed a ton in this movie.
And how could you tell?
Overdubbed. I could see their lips, and their lips weren't matching up with what they were saying. I caught like 5 or 6 instances of just completely different lines.
I wonder what caused
On
that.
the
Like
lips.
what?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was post-editing or what, but yeah, the editing and the overdubbing was not done well in this movie.
That's odd.
Yeah, it was not done well. It's fine. I mean, I can understand like wanting to do that and needing to do that for making the movie more coherent and stitch it together better, but you gotta hide those overdubs better than they did.
Yeah, like it's Disney. Clearly they have a budget.
Yeah, clearly they have a budget, yeah. So that's a big first thing that I wanted to call out.
For me, except like a minor con, I say would it be like more of like a major con. And
Okay.
minor is movies are becoming, in my opinion, a lot more blatant in their product placement than they used to.
Yeah, that's a good call out, yeah.
And everybody thinks of like E.T. pushing Reese's Pieces. That was a famous product placement.
Yeah.
But this felt not as bad as the Haunted Mansion remake movie, which I thought was
Abysmally.
egregious.
Yeah.
Where they're having conversations where the lines are literally, I went on Amazon and ordered a vanilla Yankee candle.
I mean, yeah, that movie was basically the equivalent of like the Wayne's World parody where he's like, a refreshing beverage. Drinks it with the Pepsi label facing out or whatever.
Yeah, some people only promote things
Like
to
that-
get paid, and that's really sad.
Yeah, that parody was literally the Haunted Mansion movie. But anyway, wrong movies we're talking about here.
So it was nowhere on that level.
Yeah.
But there were some times where they're going by the different shops. Oh, there's Jenny's ice cream. Oh, they're in a Starbucks. Oh, while they're talking to the Starbucks employee, there's an array of different cake pops laying on the table. Don't you want to go get a $3 to $5 cake pop now? It was unnecessary. They don't need the money. They're Disney.
Walgreens was a sponsor of the movie. There's a whole scene in Walgreens. They pan
Oh,
across
yeah.
the Walgreens logo before they show the inside of it, where she's only picking up the Walgreens branded
yeah.
items on the thing.
They're like, did you know Rite Aid's out of business?
Buy your drugs here. Corporate America. I don't know if Ford sponsored it though. Ford definitely got a couple call outs, but I didn't see their name in the credits. Walgreens' name was in the credits, so they clearly sponsored it.
Yeah.
I didn't notice Ford's was in there, but I noticed a couple Ford cars in the movie.
Yeah. But that just,
Including a square body and their muscle car, which I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I know gearheads are gonna kill me for that one, but
yeah. And look, I get it. Product placement isn't new.
no.
But when I start to notice it, then I'm taken out of the
It
movie.
needs to not be obvious. Throw the product placement in there. Like, everyone's got a phone. So, like, Apple can throw their iPhones in the hands of every protagonist and antagonist, and it makes sense because it's a modern day film where everybody has phones. That makes sense. But when you, like, literally pan across the Walgreens logo
To see
and
all
then
the
to watch-
generic brands.
Yeah, to watch
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis take all the generic Walgreens branded items off the shelf. It's just too obvious.
It just, moments like that remind me that I'm living in a world where everything has ads. Streaming services have ads if I don't upgrade to super premium. YouTube has ads because I'm also not going to subscribe. But even if I pay for the movie, which should be a pure experience, I'm still going to have things thrown at me.
Yeah.
And that's just a little depressing.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
But still more on the minor scale.
Yep.
I'd say more major, and maybe this is still minor because I guess it didn't bother me that much, but I thought it was kind of odd for the story that Lindsay Lohan and her daughter really never addressed the dad, like the missing dad, this man that she divorces. That the movie opens up and Jamie Lee Curtis says, Anna decided to be a single mom and she's raising her daughter and she's doing great, and that's fine. But you think that would have factored in somewhere that this dad, he's gone. We don't know his name. And I'm shocked that the daughter, Harper, never had this like heart-to-heart with her mom about, why did dad walk out?
Mm-hmm. Or why did you leave dad? Whatever it was.
Why did you not want to marry him? Or doesn't he want to spend time with me? Or if I move to England, with Jason Mendoza, I'm never going to see my dad. How am I going to see him if I'm living all the way in the UK? It's like, he's died and nobody cared. And I felt like that was kind of...
It was unclear.
It was a miss because in the first movie, the big emotional hit is Anna coming to grips that she's still grieving her dad. And I'm shocked that wasn't at least a footnote where Harper's talking to her mom about how, Mom, we had a family and now it's broken and now you're just melding me with this rando from the UK? This isn't cool.
Yeah.
And really the crux of the issue for her was just, I don't like his kid and I don't want to move.
Right, yeah.
But that doesn't have the same weight of, I came from a broken home and how am I supposed to deal with all this change?
Yeah.
How do they not address that? They would have been better off, like, I don't know. I just thought that was strange.
Yeah, it was definitely strange.
I feel like I can't accuse myself of overthinking a Disney movie because the first movie touched on those issues.
Right.
So it's bizarre that this one didn't.
Yeah.
So this is something that the first movie undeniably did better.
Sure, yeah. Agreed 100%. All right, well, you know what time it is. We've talked about the goods, we've talked about the bads. It's time for a number, and this week, I'm gonna go first. And I think I have decided that I'm going to go with a 7.6. And the reason I'm gonna go with that is because I liked this movie a lot, but I think I liked Happy Gilmore better, and I think it's because it's a guy versus girl movie, and that Happy Gilmore tends to appeal more to male audiences. And so I found that one more nostalgic for me, so I gave it a little bit of a nostalgia boost. And this one was nostalgic for me, but it's more of a feminine movie, so I give it a little bit of a demerit on that one.
Yeah.
So, I'd be very interested to hear what you think of it, though.
I'm giving it a 9.
Wow, that's high praise, high praise.
But I'm also aware that one of those points is nostalgia from a female who was a teenager when the first movie came out.
Yeah, big boost.
And it would probably be more of an 8 if I was a little older, if I didn't have the memories associated with it.
Yeah.
If this movie didn't literally come out when I was in high school, the original.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it a slightly biased 9.
Sure.
Keeping in mind that I do think the film is genuinely good.
It is.
I think that it actually could work as a standalone movie. I don't think you need to have that much reference for the first one.
You could watch this one
to
without
enjoy
having
it.
seen the first one, 100%.
And I feel like that's a huge compliment for a sequel that was
Absolutely.
just made to appeal to people like me who are still holding on to their
Nostalgic
childhoods.
for the original movie, yeah.
And to give Lindsay Lohan more fun projects.
Yeah, exactly.
That is such a compliment that I do think that this movie could be watched on its own, and all you need to know is Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis once swapped bodies, and then they figured out the differences and they made up, and that's really all you need to know.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's 100% correct. So, fair rating. I don't discredit that at all. I think that's
the
totally
theater
legit.
was pretty full.
It was.
There were a lot of people laughing loud and confidently.
Yeah. Sometimes we laughed and they didn't. Sometimes they laughed and we didn't. I did notice there was a little bit of a mix on the comedy beats.
But the movie's been out for a couple of weeks, and it was a pretty full theater for a random Tuesday.
I know. Yeah, it's true.
When most kids have gone back to school, so it wasn't even like a lot of children were there. Most people were probably like at least mid-20s and up.
Absolutely.
So I'm so pleased. This was delightful.
It was. It was very delightful. So thank you to Disney for making a good sequel for once.
I know, thanks. You know what? I gave up on you guys. I really did.
But we're back.
We're back. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Also make something new, please.
Please make something new. Something new that's good. We need to not get monkey's pawed here. All right, well, thanks guys so much for watching. If you really like this review, we'd be really appreciated if you checked out our most recent review. We did K-pop Demon Hunters, which was another sleeper hit for us off of Netflix. So that link will be somewhere on the screen at the moment. Please give it a click, give it a watch. And thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a great night.
Bye.